Ryker riders and two-wheel riders and everyone else out there, we are back. Moto Mosaic is back once again. Thank you to all of you who viewed, the thousands of you who viewed the first episode. We are so inspired. I'm here with my co-host Ludwig Cruz, and we are ready to get it going and get you into Ryker riding, two-wheel, three-wheel. Heck, if you want four wheels, this is your podcast. So let's go. Ludwig, here we are again. Welcome, my friend.
Oh, I'm so happy and excited to be back.
Yes, it's a great time since we've been off from the last episode. I know you and I have spoken off camera, and we are all excited about the podcast and the ideas we have to share with the Ryker, the Spider, and beyond community. So I figured since our readers were so excited, we should maybe start a conversation about our world and bring them into our world. So
Sounds good.
I'm going to go back to the beginning. And I'm going to say,
Right.
I got my Ryker, brought it home, walked around, looked at it, and the crazy combination of who you are and who I am, Madman versus 247 Tech Talk doesn't do it justice because I'm just as maybe Madman too. All I saw in my head was time to start modding. Now I've done this with all my other, my electric motorcycles. I did that with my Honda gas motorcycle. And so it was time to I felt like this responsibility to make the Ryker a part of the motorcycle world, not the three-wheel world, but the motorcycle world. So I'm looking at it, and I think I want to talk to our listeners first of all, because I see this so often in questions. They always ask, what's the first thing you should do? What's the first thing you should mod? What's the first thing you should change? And I'm going to tell you my opinion, and then you jump in and tell me yours.
Sure.
So for me, and when you see my bike later on in the year, you'll see I'm not a fan of certain wraps and colors, not because I don't love them, because I'm just not as good at them as you are. Okay? And I'm going to talk to you a little later on about wrap versus painting. But I looked at the horn. We've talked about safety. I don't know if your viewers have seen that crazy horn you have. I purchased a Moto horn, dual track horn for my Honda.
Oh, yeah. I know those.
I never put it on. So one of my challenges for this year is it needs to fit on my Ryker.
Okay,
Right?
I think that one will.
What else did I do? I purchased some, not wraps, but some accents to the panels. And as I said, I'm going with black and carbon fiber. I'm keeping the look that's simple. Mine is more about function and craziness and things that I build for it than it is about the eye-catching look. Right? And I'll tell you, part of that has to do with me riding to the supermarket or whatever, wanting people to love this bike they see, but not wanting them to love it enough that they want it more than I want it, right? Because I live in New York, right? And that has stymied some of my recent creativity because there are things I want to put on the bike that I designed and built. You and I have talked about. And we'll get into many podcasts about printing and cutting and making things. But I'm scared that someone breaks it off the bike while it's parked in the parking lot. Right?
Sure.
So a lot of the Ryker riders I see go to shows. They meet up and ride. And they're always within eyesight of their bike. I'm not.
Yeah.
So one of my mods I think I showed you and I showed my viewers was I did the from Sling Mods, the bags, the touring bags, the top luggage rack.
Yeah.
And I did it before the look because I felt the back of the Ryker was a bit naked for me. But I also did it because it has the signals and it has the brake lights. And in New York, again, crazy drivers, I wanted that big presence.
Yeah.
Right? Regretful purchase, regretful first mod, my exhaust.
Right? Oh, interesting.
Shout out to RLS exhaust. I just purchased one. If you don't know RLS, you will know that Madman Wrenchworks and 247 Tech Talk are supporting you.
Absolutely.
I bought the RLS Psychic, and it should be here this week.
Exciting.
But I'm replacing my two brothers' exhaust now. we could talk about exhaust. Before I go further, because I know you're crazier than I am, let's talk about exhaust for a second. What do you have?
So I wouldn't be fitting with the brand if it wasn't mad enough, right? So I actually made my own exhaust.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what I did is that I actually so you got to remember, like a lot of the designs that I kind of tend to be inspired by are usually from the automotive space, right? So like from the race car culture. I mean, I'm from the Detroit, right, city, so I'm from like that motor city. So I try to always bring some of that influence in. And what I did is that I actually got a I believe it's a Flowmaster FX.
Okay.
That I actually went ahead and I retrofitted that into the actual duct piping that went into the Ryker itself. So I cut off the big suitcase that's that's standard on the Ryker.
Right,
and
right.
Let me tell you, that thing is heavy.
Yes, it is.
It is.
That adds weight.
Heavy. It has a lot of weight. Yeah. So I did notice that change a lot when I'm writing. But yeah, so I cleaved that off, right? And then I actually, I went ahead and I welded. And it took a little bit of play. Just to make sure that I wanted to get an equal length of pipe to the equal length of the actual Flowmaster itself,
right.
Just so I can get like that nice resonance happening. But that's what I did with mine. So it is obnoxiously loud. Ooh. It sounds like a V8 or something is in there, because I even had somebody like stop by, and he was in I think he was in a Honda Rebel. Yeah. He actually passed right next to me at a stoplight, and he took his visor up, he leaned over, and he's like, "You got a Hemi in that thing?" Like, you mean like but it definitely it growls, and it idles blah, 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 like a car, so I'm very happy about it. But yeah, mine is unique.
Well, I gotta tell you, so we, as much as we have in common, that was our opposite, but mine's for different reasons. I took off the stock exhaust. Yes, that thing weighs a ton. I'm not sure why. I'm also not sure why Ryker had to make it, or why Can-Am had to make it so wide.
Yeah,
that piece in the middle. But I put a Two Brothers exhaust on. Now, from the two-wheel world, sports bike, Two Brothers is a nice exhaust. On my Honda, I didn't have a Two Brothers. I had a Kaufman exhaust, but I put a Two Brothers on my Ryker. I live in Nassau County. It's quiet. And New York State does have a loud exhaust law.
Okay.
Now, the law kind of says you cannot mod an OEM exhaust. I think in court, the argument would be, what does that mean? Because if I make an aftermarket exhaust with certain specs, it's still original manufacturer. It's just not the original bike manufacturer, right? But the point is, my Two Brothers is loud. So the first problem is the noise, right? If I come home late in the evening. The second problem is attracting unwanted attention.
Sure.
I know that even as a two-wheeler, when I was on my Honda, the Kaufman had a deeper growl, it was a little louder than the manufacturer and the stock. And we always say for presence, for the people to hear you. But I'm not sure that works
anymore.
Anymore.
What is it saying? Loud pipe save lives?
Yeah, but I'm not sure that's true anymore, because people are so into their phones and they don't hear anything that I think, for me, the better thing to wake them up is that horn. I almost find that horn more important, right? The loud noise will tell them you're around.
Right.
But so I figured, before I get myself in trouble, let me tone it down a bit. I went on a search. I do have a video I'm going to do when I swap it out in a few weeks or whatever, where I will show the decibels of it in the Two Brothers versus the Sidekick. But I saw the Sidekick videos. I think it was Rolling on Trees. I think it's from Brooklyn. I forgot the name of the guy. But I saw them do a test. And I think the guy who makes the RLS exhaust also did a decibel test throughout all his. And I settled on the Sidekick because the end with the baffle kind of looks stock.
It's does.
Got this, right.
Opening of the hole makes it like kind of small, even though you can see the radius. Yeah, absolutely.
So I felt, you know what, at a glance, it'd be hard to kind of argue with me, and it's not as loud as the Two Brothers. I think I saw when he tested it in his outdoor space, it was like 70 something decibels versus the Two Brothers, which is probably 90 something, or it's loud. Not as loud as yours, maybe, but
I gotta do the
so.
decimal test too. I don't know.
Yes, you do. We want to do that. We can the read the listeners are gonna and the viewers are gonna hold you to that, right?
For sure.
Um, and then so I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change the horn for Evil Loud the horn. Now I did again the Sling Mods dual horn.
Mhm.
Um, and I like Sling Mods, but when you think about what we do and create our own, Sling Mods is awfully expensive, right?
It
It's
is.
thousands of dollars I've spent on Sling Mods already for
Mhm.
certain things, and I realized that when I got them, I always looked at them and said, I like this, but I can do better, or I can do different, or I can do me, right? And so I've become less dependent on buying now. You know, I'll more go buy raw materials,
Yeah.
right? Kind of like what you do, right? So then the next thing I did was, and I see people argue about this, but I did a windshield,
Hmm.
and it was a shorter one, and then I actually changed it out for a bigger one.
Oh,
Now the
wow.
controversy with my bike, and I say controversy only because shout out to King Jaffe Joe 413. He does not like the stereo I have on. I saw it in one of his videos. It's the one that wraps around the cluster with the two
Mm,
speakers. But I'm not out there for sound like that. Again, I gotta park my bike. I
right.
like to go places and leave my bike. I'm
Right.
in New York. I'll come back. I'll be speakerless. Okay. So King Jaffe Joe 413. I know you don't like that cluster sound, but I can tell you it works for me. It's
Sure.
enough sound. Um, and I now have the Rurock you see back here
Yes.
with the Harman Kardon sound system in it. So really and truly, I'm just Bluetooth connecting,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
I don't want to go into all my mods because there's lots, including some Madman Wrenchworks mods, which we'll keep for another episode. I did change my floorboards.
Okay.
Now,
I'm actually looking into doing that as well.
and I
So I'm very
hate
interested to hear about
pegs.
it.
I changed floorboards on my Honda.
Okay.
I changed floorboards on my Naxion I Am Pro electric motorcycle, and
Okay.
they're the first that they can because nobody's figured out how I've done it yet, but I did. And I
Okay.
did floorboards that actually fold up. And on the and people have seen this on my videos. On the Ryker, I put large spiked floorboards that are bigger than the size of my shoe. So when you sit on there, no matter even if you step into oil and then you step on the
Mm,
bike, you're not gonna slide.
awesome.
The thing I've not perfected yet and I'm not happy with is the aftermarket covering pedal I put on my brake pedal.
I don't know if I know this one. So
So
it's
I
like a
put a little
plate.
it's a little piece you fit with spikes on top and it screws in from
Oh,
the bottom, right? It makes
okay.
it larger
So you have
and it
more
makes it
purchase.
right. And your
Okay.
foot can't you won't slip off of the rubber pedal. But I don't like it. I don't
Hmm.
I don't I don't I don't know what I'll come up with, right? I think the difference is with the floorboards, you get to actually remove the pegs completely and
Hmm.
put the floorboards out. Whereas with the brake pedal, it's a covering.
Hmm. I
Right? It's
see.
not a piece you can take off and just leave
Oh,
the handle and add what you
wow.
want.
Okay, I didn't know that. So the pegboards or the footboards, you're saying you actually remove the one that's stock and you
Right.
replace it with a whole nother one. Oh wow. Okay.
Completely.
Now
Right.
I'm definitely gonna get one of those. All right.
Yes. And then
For
I
sure.
also put passenger pegs on. Right.
Nice.
I'm not really riding with a passenger, but they match the floorboards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? And,
Cool.
and in the case if my daughter or something wants to jump on, I'm good to go. Um, I did put the jockey shifter.
Yes, I have one of those too. Let me tell you,
Right.
that one surprised me. Like just to share a little bit, that was one that I did it more so for the look of like having like a shifter on my car.
Right.
Again,
Right.
a thing. But man, it is so much better because I hate having to use my foot I have to find it and then you have to like push it back and it's just is an
What
awkward.
about to pull forward with your foot?
Yeah, it's an awkward movement for my leg, like it's
Yeah.
kind of I'm in traffic like trying to do this weird like dances trying to find it. No, so I it surprised me how great that mod is, and it's one of the ones I love the most, honestly. And of course I have different, I replace the ball head depending on the
I
theme
did too.
bike. Yeah,
Now here's the funny thing. Don't laugh. I first wanted to go with the famous 8 ball.
of course.
Of course, I quickly threw that out because everybody has that. But my thoughts were more, you put an 8 ball on that, I leave sparks, someone's going to screw it off. Someone's going to take it.
For sure. I was gonna say, man, you should go for the dice. Remember the dice?
Yeah. Well, I put a carbon fiber. We'll see one of
Nice.
my videos.
Hell
And I
yeah.
also Loctite. I put Loctite on it.
Okay, great.
Right. Hoping that it will be, not that easy for somebody just to
Just a screw.
remove, right? Because some in New York, someone walks past your bike, and when they walk from the back tire to the front tire, by the time they walk past the front tire, something's missing.
Okay.
So yes, it's again, people use the Ryker to ride to have fun with groups.
Sure.
Some people use it as a novelty. I like to ride, and so if I want to go to a mall,
Hmm.
I won't go to a mall and do an all day trip and leave my bike outside. But if I want to go into a store, pick something up, come back out and ride back home, if I have to leave that bike there for 20 minutes, I want to feel that I can.
Of course, yeah.
And so that kind of hampers my ability to do what's in this big head of mine, because I think it will attract the kind of attention where people will try to remove it from the bike.
Mm,
Right.
okay. I
So
see.
it's we'll do a different episode about the mirrors I chose. I've been through 3 different sets of mirrors to find what I like. And I do have blind mirrors with blind spot mirrors, but I think that the windshield is a good mod.
Hmm.
The floorboard's amazing mod. And I'll tell all of you out there who've had knee surgery like me, it's very helpful when you get on the Ryker to have a floorboard versus a peg under the center of your foot, right?
I bet it's probably comfortable as
Oh
hell.
yes, it's comfortable to ride too. You feel like you're with the pegs. I always felt like when you're cornering with the Ryker or
Yep.
whatever, with the floorboards, you are just sitting on a somebody's got to come lift you off that thing, right?
Awesome. No, that's awesome. So it's interesting. Let me share. I'm going to share with you a little bit of something I've been trying to cook up, and I'm still in the process of figuring it out. Uh, I feel like I'm about 80% through of figuring it out, but I kind of want to move that entire assembly much further back so that when I'm on my Ryker, it's like I'm a two-wheeler. Completely.
When you say
Instead of like this on the bike, I'm gonna be
uh-huh,
more like this on a bike, almost like on a
a sport bike,
sports bike. Yeah.
so one of the things that I will add to my bike is a lift kit. All right.
Oh,
And
okay.
on the Ryker, the way the lift kit goes, it lifts the back up. All
Okay.
right. Which may probably give you the posture you want. But
Hmm.
so far the lift kits that the only one, it's a 3 inch.
Okay.
That's all that's on the market. All right.
I think I've seen this one. It's like it's made out of silver, right? It's like
It's a
a
little,
black silver.
yes. I think you
Yeah.
get them silver or black. But the thing
Okay.
is, my thought is there, why is it 3 inches? You know what you and I do, right?
Hmm.
So
Why not
I
bigger?
need to right, but I need to understand if with the drive shaft, so to speak, the side piece,
Hmm.
whether lifting it higher will cause it to touch something.
Yeah.
Right? I need to figure that out.
Yep. That's
Um,
a good point.
yeah. Um, so I'm gonna put the 3 inch first on first.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride it for a while. I am gonna eventually change my rear shock to probably Elka Stage 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna change the front shocks to Elka Stage 3. Um, I do have links already. I'm not changing the sway bar yet. I'm not convinced that I have the steering damper on already. And the links I think are important because the aftermarket links are metal. The stock links are rubber or some sort of,
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
flex too
They're like
much.
weird plastic. Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
right. So a lot of people have said, try the links first. before you go into the whole sway bar thing, because they feel that solved the issue.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm thinking the links with the adjustable, the stage three shocks with the steering dampener,
Oh
right?
yeah, that would make a humongous difference for sure.
Right. With a Madman wrenchwork splitter,
Oh man.
I should be sitting.
Yeah, you should be solid.
Right.
For sure. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, and I guess I gotta think about that. I gotta look into that too because now I'm curious. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if it does have a certain lift because I never thought about lifting the bike. It's funny because I want to, I would like to eventually extend the rear wheel and again, right, have my legs feel backwards because I actually want to get lower as low as I can. I like the speed. I like the
But
speed.
when you say extend, so I've
Mhm.
seen that. I've someone had a
Yeah,
drag Riker.
yeah, so there's two that I've seen on YouTube. One of them is a gentleman who's in Canada.
Yes, Marshall.
Yes, Marshall.
Yeah,
He's done
yeah.
it, which is very cool. It's interesting. Like I think it's very sweet the proportions. He has those, he has like not Riker wheels on it. He has like actual like rims like from a car, which is interesting. I think the proportions are a little strange when you do that. But yeah, I kind of want to figure out there's a couple things that like a couple things that I like, for example, sharing what I want to do with my bike. I mean, one of the things that I want to do in the near future is I want to put a Brembo set. I want to put a legit Brembo brake kit on my bike because I like to speed a bit. My Riker for some reason says I bought it. It's loud, like it gets squeaky here and there quite frequently, which annoys the
That's
hell out of
weird.
me. It's very strange. I don't know if it's just like a like a lemon thing where I just got like a bad set, but I've taken it off, I've cleaned it, I've actually like kind of resurfaced a bit too, and it still does it. But yeah, like I'm in the process of kind of figuring out like how I would manufacture from like a solid block a new way of mounting an actual Brembo kit from a different bike
So
that I
you're
want.
talking about the rotor, the pads, the
Oh
whole
yeah,
nine.
oh the whole nine for sure. Potentially maybe a product coming soon, but
Well, well, go
but
ahead.
yeah, it's something that I definitely need to figure out. But yeah, with elongating the rear wheel, I know that there's the drive shaft and a lot of stuff that goes back there that needs figuring out too. What I don't like about it, even if I can't extend the rear wheel, one thing that I'm not happy with is the arm itself, like the big swing arm that holds
Mhm.
the rear, that whole assembly.
Right.
It looks heavy. It looks like
Chunky.
it's chunky looking.
Right.
And what I like about Marshalls, it's interesting not to, again, this is just my opinion and how I feel about it. Like I feel that it's very crude looking in a way too. And of course, I kind of want to aesthetically design it so that it also kind of resembles somewhat of the shape and forms that are happening within a motorcycle. So it looks more like OEM spec, I guess, if you would, like designed together. But I don't know how I would achieve that. That's something that's like, oof, that's like further down the road.
Well, I think if you could, I mean, and this is getting deep into some of the Riker listeners without, might not be that in depth yet, and I
I
do
know
want to,
they're probably like, wow, this guy is mad.
but I've often thought about, there probably is a way to chop it, right? I would be concerned about what you would need to do to connect, design the new sort of the covering with the shaft. Let's say you use rolled pipe instead of the side, but that if you elongate the bike, the stress points become different, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And um, the Riker's weight is right under that tank, right? That sort
Yeah.
of center. So yes, but I also think that if you did that, possibly raised it. Even though know you want to go low, I think you might increase the size of the rear wheel just a little
Yeah,
and
for sure.
stretch it out. But I told you I saw one. I think I sent you a video where someone put the Honda Goldwing engine in the Spider,
It's crazy.
right? And that's crazy because he figured out the computer mapping and everything,
Crazy.
right? And that bike sounded so ridiculously good, you know. And to say this to BRP, to say this again, we're not advocating against what you do. We're taking what you do to a new level, right?
For sure. Absolutely.
People who find the passion that we do, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so on that note though, and again, nothing to like BRP, but it is interesting to me that they have the same. It's a very similar Rotax motor that's already turboed on the snowmobiles. I wonder why they haven't brought that as an option. Like to the Ryker lineup. I'm so curious about that. I always wondered that.
Well, yeah. I think that their concern. I don't know what their concerns are actually, but considering that on land without snow, you could touch so many different surfaces,
Hmm.
right? They may have a. I often think about stress points when I look at the Riker, right? Like for example, and I want to make this point too with the mods that I'm finding a bit of a hindrance.
Hmm.
The panels, right? Because the panels are all plastic, they I lose mounting points. I mean, I've seen you what you did had to do with your horn, right?
Yep.
I had this crazy idea the other day to make the two side panels out of aluminum,
Hmm.
right? Very light,
Hmm.
but this way, if I wanted to mount something on those either one of those panels, I
Yeah.
could put a reinforcement piece on the inside, put
Hmm.
my bolt holes on top of that.
Yeah.
Instead of having to connect with the push pins, I would do flat bolts, flathead bolts,
Yeah.
right? Aluminum again, still light, but now you've got so much more you can do. Look at what, and shout out again. I'm gonna give a lot of shout outs to a lot of great Riker companies out there or Riker um, business or whatever. Shut up and ride. Shut up and ride.
Hmm.
They do great music systems, right? People ship their bikes to them. They put speakers everywhere. They sound good. But
Yeah.
sometimes, and I know they've come out recently with like a bolt-on kit for their speakers. But again, I think they would probably agree to that. Having all those panels be plastic sort of takes away a lot of mounting options. Maybe you and I have to talk, and then come back to our listeners about rolling aluminum and making a panel because that sort of segues into your world. I'm going to say, and my other thing I want to discuss with you that is, and this is totally you. I don't have the expertise. Wrap versus paint.
I've done both. I've done both all in one summer. I did both.
What's
So
the preference?
I mean, I prefer the I prefer a mixing of both. And
Really?
it sounds probably like a cop out answer, but it's not really. It's one of those things where I think that because I've seen I've come across a couple riders out there, Riker riders that have like they've paid for like that full wrap that has like a print on the wrap, and then they
Right.
their bikes. And the one thing that just and again, this is my opinion. I think their bikes look great, but for me, it's like my madman ADD kicks in, right? Because you can see where it's like pre-cut, where when they're wrapping it, there's always areas of black, of weird black lines that they cut into the wrap because the overall surfacing on the Riker, it's pretty, I would say voluptuous in some areas, right? There's a
Right.
lot
Right.
of
Right.
and unless you're wrapping it all in one color where you're disregarding where those elements of the print need to sit, right? They cut it that way. So it irks me because it just looks like a sticker on a bike. It's just like whoop.
Right.
Like it doesn't look. I really like when things look very tailored, and very intentional. So I prefer to paint my panels so that I get the overall color as a base that maybe you
Right.
can't paint, right? And then I actually almost collage the elements of graphics so
On
that
top.
way on top of it, that way it's a mix of both because then I can be really, really intentional with where something needs to sit, and then I can cut off the graphic where I need to be, or design it in such a way that it fits within the surfacing of the panels that I'm working with. So I prefer both, to be honest. But of course, I know I'm a little bit more intense with it, right? But I think that and I've thought about this, because I know that for like Ducatis, I know that there's companies out there that they actually do something along the lines of what I'm talking about, where of course your Ducati comes already the colors that they come in factory stock,
Right.
but they sell almost like graphic kits rather than wrap kits. So they have graphic kits that are almost designed intentionally for you to actually put in certain parts of the bike that's already designed with the shape in mind, you know. And yeah, I mean that's something that I've been thinking about a lot, honestly. And of course, moving into this summer, like I'm very excited. I won't give too much of what I'm going to do, but I have four themes that I think I'm going to hit this summer on my bike. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so so stay tuned for sure.
Well,
All
so
under the
my
links.
see my one of my challenges is when I get to collaborate like with you and with others, um, then we get to share skills to make something even better. I've done a shout out. One person did reach out to me on my channel saying that they're in Nassau County and as it gets warmer, let's ride. Right, but I know I've seen other Spider and Ryker riders out there, right? Um, and in the back of my mind, even though I have multiple cars and bikes, and I'm sort of out of space, I still would like to add a Spider to the stable,
Yeah,
um, and then go crazy and do something that is not done. What was interesting though when you talked about the wrap, not sure if you saw the one of the more recent videos. I keep calling him out, but that's a good thing for him. King Jaffe Joe 413 has a rap that has your hypertext links in the rap. So he had like the Patriots theme, and he had
mm,
names of the players. And if you put your phone up to the rap, it goes to the video of the player or their website, right?
gotcha.
Um, and I know that's not that's what we do. That's more of a stylish thing than a practical thing, right? But
Yeah,
it's amazing that it gives me other ideas, right? Because if you think about it, and I'm sure someone's thought about it already, but depending on where you wrap, and someone wants to take this idea, feel free. If I have like for my speaker system, I want to wrap the outside. Hypertext link in there goes to the user manual for that part, right?
yep,
Something that. So when you're sitting there on your bike and something is not working or something's wrong, you go boop, right? And you're there. So anyone who's listening out there who created that, and I think he might, I'm not sure if he did, but feel free to run with that. We can't do everything. We have so many ideas.
mm,
Um, but that's one of my thoughts. And it was something else I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, how do you feel about lighting? And I'm not talking about. I'm big into fog lights,
yeah.
headlights, certainly. But how do you feel about this tremendous amount of lighting around the bike? What's your take?
Um, I I like it. I think it's kind of cool. I think what bothers me the most is the lighting that is a lot of times easier to find out there. It's like you can really see the beads of the
Right,
LEDs.
right, 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 right.
I really prefer. I really like like the Tron look, right? Like I mean, like this right here, right? I like that it's a
Yeah,
constant,
continuous.
continuous light where you don't see the starting of the light source. It's just like a glow, you know. Um, but no, I mean, I'm all for the lighting. I think it's freaking cool, man. And especially like when you're riding to the evening, you just flick it on. You're loud, right, visually. So I think it's like a safety thing, and also especially here, like in Michigan, because I live a little bit outside of Detroit. So like, when I drive into the city, I'm kind of like in a little bit more in between the lakes. So, there's not a lot of lighting where I am
Right.
leaving my house, my residence. And I think that it helps because that glow actually produces a lot of light where I can see clearly. So I think it's great, honestly. Yeah.
So for me, it's not that I dislike the lighting. It's
Tell me
like
you feel.
it's
Let's tell the viewers how you really feel. Come on now.
yeah. It's not that I dislike the lighting. It's that I can't be me if I'm doing everything everybody else does.
True.
Right. So my lighting, I keep looking for ideas where the bike is visible because of the luggage, the saddlebags and the luggage rack,
Hmm.
the headlamps, the fog lights. But then, and I don't want to give too much away. I will discuss it with you off camera, but some strategic things that still provide light, but do a little bit more. And yes, listeners, yes, viewers, if you wonder what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. You're going to have to watch another episode because I'm not going to tell you now because Ludwig and I haven't discussed that madness yet, and I probably have to collaborate with him
Mhm.
to get exactly what I want to show out there. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit, but just know that you may or may not see some strip lighting, and what you're referring to with the lack of continuity. I have some of those lights right here now in my studio. As you know, I'm coming out with a Madman Wrenchworks 247 Tech Talk license plate. Right, that's a collaboration between you and I. You did part of it, and I've done part of it. It has this similar type of light, but it serves a purpose in that way.
Sure.
And I think that particular light serves a purpose because it's trimmable to exactly the length you want.
Hmm.
Where the continuous lights, you need to get a light that's capped to the length you want, right?
True.
And so I think that's a bit of the challenge. Right?
Yeah, or you need to create what's it called, like a lens or something to act like a
Right,
lens. It's to
right,
spread
right.
light.
So it
But yeah,
makes it
that's
seem like one, right?
right. Yeah, that.
So I am using that for the license plate that I'm coming out with. That it is one of a kind, folks. It is one of a kind. 247 Tech Talk and Madman Rents Works. There's not a single other one out there like it on the planet. Right?
You know.
I'm still working on it, matter of fact. And that's one of my problems because, and I think you have the same problem. I feel that there's never an end.
No.
I have a concept, I build it to the end, and I get a new idea to go crazier.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I've got things I made for my Honda that I started out when I got the Rebel, and the Rebel got traded in, and they never made it to the Rebel.
Yeah.
I still have them. They look like a finished product, but I never put it on because I wanted to do something else with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something more with it. So I have to have a license plate. So that I'll get that on the bike, and then we'll showcase this to the viewers. But the lighting is something I don't want to go with. My Iahora Night M1 PS electric motorcycle has the lights in the underbelly and the
Hmm.
and I'll leave that there. I don't want to do that again. That has the strip lights, the remote control. You can change the colors, and I don't want to do that again. Not because again, Ryker, Spider, motorcycle. I'm not hating. Those bikes looks beautiful. I saw someone on YouTube who put lights and speakers on his bike to the tune of $14,000. Okay,
Crazy.
love it. Looked amazing. It
I
was a
bet.
white. I think it was an all white Ryker he
Oh,
sprayed.
I think I know
Right.
which one you're talking about.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that turned out
Shout
amazing
out to you.
for
Amazing.
sure.
I'm just saying two things are going to happen as you guys continue to follow this podcast. You're going to look down the road and say, oh, there goes Julian. Oh, there goes Ludwig. Right? Because
Sure.
we're not going to do, and some people may like it and some people may dislike it. Right? I've had that with my Naxion. People saw what I did with the windshield, which nobody else has. People want to kill me online
My handlebars.
because, yeah,
Just
your handlebars are
add
sick.
that.
I don't even know how. I don't even know.
I've had people that are, wow, that is so cool. I've had people like, the handlebars are ugly, and it's just like, that's cool. Like I always, when they ask me, like, they're just like, well, some people are like, I don't understand. And to me, it's like, hey, it's a functional thing. Design
Right,
thing.
because
Oh,
you're tall
cool.
and you're stretched. Because
Very long reach.
Right.
I'm 6'2", and my wingspan is very far. So for me, it was just super comfortable. It was natural feeling. But to others, yeah, they look at it and they're just like, that looks ugly as hell. But to me, I'm like, I actually think it was pretty fucking sick.
it's different. It is different. I saw it
Yeah.
when I first looked at it. I did like a double and triple take, right? And then I tried to figure out. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. It's narrower than the standard, because you would have to make up in length somehow for cabling or how. I mean, I'm not
So
sure.
what's interesting is that it's a little bit more narrower, but I'm also like this.
Okay,
That makes sense, right? Like the grip is not straight.
different angle.
It's a different angle. So again, it is so much more comfortable. And as far as like the cable management, I actually have my cables dangling. It was far enough where I don't have to retain them because it's far enough that it doesn't
Right.
like hang too low or anything like that. But yeah, no, to your point, like that's something that is bizarre. Nobody's ever done it. They have different, handlebars, but they're along the lines of
Yeah, I've
different.
never seen anyone like yours. And guys, If you go to madmanwrenchworks.com, you'll see it. If you go to Lubricant's channel, you'll see it. Leave us some comments in this video and tell us what you think about this handlebars, whether you like them, whether you think they're ugly, whether you think they're nice, whether you want to find out how we did it. Okay, this is what the conversation is all about. I
Absolutely.
will tell you guys, for example, on my Naxion I Am Pro, I took spare parts that don't match from all over my workshop. I was able to mount a windshield. And the Naxion I Am Pro is very modular. So when you hit the brakes, the shocks go down with everything.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
my windshield, I mounted it so that when you hit the brakes and the bike goes down, the windshield actually compensates by coming up.
Wow.
Someone asked me in the group chat, I think it was on the Facebook, what parts should I get? I told him, I says, well, here's the windshield wiper off of Amazon. I said in the video, they got very angry with me. I said, I'm not going to show you how it's mounted because until I perfect it and I can give you a parts list where you can go to Amazon and buy it, I'm not going to do that, right? So
Yeah.
someone decided, I forgot the guy's name out there. He's one of the leading guys on Facebook in that chat. Went and bought the windshield, mounted it, and almost broke up the whole front of his bike. Because when the bike dipped, so did his windshield. Right? So
Man.
right.
Okay.
And so he came back and told the whole universe that I was lying.
Mm.
Right? And I showed them a video and said, no, I'm not lying. Mine works.
Yeah.
Right? So how did you do it? I can't tell you. Oh, this guy doesn't want to help anybody. No. And I want to say that to our viewers and our listeners. Anything that we put out there and we are sharing, we're not hiding to ourselves. If you see
Sure.
something unique, we're sharing. And if you want to know how we did it, I have no problem sharing like I've done on my channel. There's probably 600 videos on my channel. A lot of them are instructional or show things, but I won't do that until I am 100% satisfied with what I can share with you. Won't put you in danger, won't put your bike in danger, right? Because there
Yeah.
are times we do mods that we won't share that might be a little bit borderline dangerous, so we haven't
Oh yeah.
perfected them yet. Right.
Oh yeah. At the end of the day, if you're customizing your bike, it's like you're doing something that's not natural, right? I
Right.
mean, that's the part of the beauty of it. That's part of what's amazing and fun about this stuff is the fact that you're making it uniquely yours. But at the same time, I mean, sometimes these things, I mean, that they're not, there's a risk
Yeah.
that you take.
There's a risk, right?
There's a
And
risk.
I won't recommend to anyone any of the mods I've done. And unlike you, where you manufacture your parts, the things I build, I don't sell them. So they're just for people to admire and maybe go out and have their own concept. The
Sure.
things if I put together things I purchased on Amazon, like the windshield, when I finally get it in place, I'll say, look, this part, you can buy on Amazon. This piece I created. And
Mhm.
recently I've been messing with 3D printing and using ASA and PETG, which is very strong.
Mhm.
And I have a plan to make new brackets for the windshield for the Naxion so that I can at least share an STL with someone
Sure. Yeah.
if they want to do it on their own, right? But until it's safe, I won't do it. So I wanted to bring up one last thing, which is very controversial.
Hmm.
And I think I had a conversation with you about it. And that is when you buy a Ryker, you can either on the spot buy the warranty, the maintenance warranty. You have up to, I think, a year. I think the one that comes with the bike is 6 months, but you have 6 months beyond that to purchase from BRP, their
Yep.
warranty.
Yep.
Um, and I said that to you, and you basically said what I was thinking. If you're gonna do what we do, right? If you're gonna do mods that are just bolt on, and you really don't want to have to mess with your bike, then probably BRP. But I gotta tell you, the problem I had with it is not so much more because I really don't want to go into my engine messing around. But if I have to, I will. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid of it. But I've seen so many horror stories of people taking their Ryker to the dealer and it sat there for 4 months. Because even with the BRP warranty, those people who fix Rykers don't do it daily like other bikes.
Right.
And
Right.
they couldn't figure it out, right? I mentioned to you my possibility of buying a bud system, right? So I could see the codes and I can clear codes and do stuff like that. Only because I don't know, and again, BRP, don't get upset with me, but I just don't know. I think that if the more popular Can-Ams get, and I do think they're going to get more and more popular because
Really.
um, I've met people who ride Spiders and Rikers who never learned to ride a bicycle. They couldn't do the balance, but they wanted to. And it was a bucket list thing, and they never made it, but they got on the Riker and said, I don't have to balance. I can
Right.
enjoy this.
Oh yeah.
Met quite a few people who had knee surgery like me who said, I'm done with two wheelers. Although
Hmm.
I'm not done with two wheelers, I'm done with gas two wheelers because my electrics are a lot lighter, right? Um, I've met people who have aged out of two wheelers for their own safety. They still want to ride, but they feel like, and you got people who are riding the Riker and Spider who are 85 years old,
Right.
right? Because they know that they can't fall. The fall is the biggest part of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that the Riker and Spider take up a car lane, so you're not dealing with when we're on bike, someone swerving into your lane. You know, if they're gonna swerve into your lane and hit you in the Riker, they would hit you in a car,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, given that, as we wrap up this episode, let's talk about that maintenance. What do you think? Is it worth it?
Well, I mean, I knew going into getting this machine that I was just gonna. I mean,
Destroy
I
it.
mean, literally the first 24 hours that I brought it home, I completely clamshelled the whole thing within
Okay.
the first 24 hours that I brought it home. So I knew that I was gonna just, yeah, destroy it. So I mean, for me, it's one of those things. I mean, even with my vehicles, I think there was only one car that I've ever owned in my life that I probably bought the extended warranty, and even then, I ended up putting headers in a straight pipe, and then that completely voided it.
Right,
It's
right,
like one of
right.
those things where, yeah, I mean, I think that if I were to have a machine that I would have to rely on to get somewhere, then by all means, yes, I would say definitely go for it. But
Right.
if it's, I mean, this is my toy. I play with it, so I'm definitely going to continue to play with it. And I don't think that I need that personally.
But I think the problem with it too, again, is, and I'll say it's the BRP in much support and love, but I mean, I haven't read a lot of stories online. Granted that people come online to complain many a time, but there's been enough complaints that they take it to a dealer and they haven't seen their bike for months,
It's very
right?
true. Yeah,
Dealers
very.
can't figure out the problem, right?
Yeah,
And then I see people like King Joffrey, Joe Forentry, and others who can figure it out. Who open up your bike, who go change the belt, who use the specialty tools, and
yeah,
they do everything, right? And so if he can do it, what's up with the dealers? Is BRP actually training Can-Am mechanics who can solve things and placing them in dealers? Or are you buying into something where the dealer sells 100 different models of bikes, including the Spider, and you're relying on those same mechanics when the
yeah.
Spider or Ryker comes in there once in a blue moon to figure it out?
No, yeah. I mean, I definitely gotta say, I mean, because I've been actually this winter I've been going to different motorsports, places here in Michigan, and yeah, to be honest with you, I think you're right. I don't know, but so far from my conversations with some of these dealers is that they, even a couple of them were saying that they don't even get trained really on the Can-Am Rikers and
Right.
Spiders to even talk to me about some of the questions that I ask, and they just kind of look at me and, well, and I could tell they're stumbling across trying to figure out what to say. But yeah, no, I mean, to your point, yeah, yes, I've come across several writers that have told me, yeah, like it was in the shop for like 2 months, and I'm like, especially here in Michigan and you in New York, I mean, the weather, we're against time, right? Like,
Right, right.
I want to ride
Yes.
as much as possible, and if I'm caught up for like 2 or 3 months out of the season, then what a shitty season, that I had. So,
Yeah, I saw someone who said that they kept taking it. They were asking where could they take it. I forgot where they were, but they kept saying that they took it to mechanic after mechanic after mechanic, and these guys don't work on that. They refuse to even touch it. Right? It
yeah.
could actually be something pretty simple, but you have to think that even if it's something with a code they have to clear, if they don't have the bud system, which they haven't invested in because they don't do Rikers, they
It's
can't help you.
expensive. It's an
Yeah,
expensive piece of equipment. Let
yeah.
alone, it takes learning to know how to use it properly, and I mean, it's one of those things, But yeah, I mean, that's a good point you brought up.
And I
Definitely.
think I would say to BRP, we're out here loving the bike, the Can-Am. Like I said, I hope maybe let's see how long it takes. Maybe, because I also like the two-wheeler cars too. The three-wheeler
Yeah.
car, but I'm thinking I want to get a Spider. Investing in used Spiders are not cheap. They're a lot more than the
Oh yeah.
Ryker, especially if you're going with one where I could take my wife, with the nice touring kit and the speakers and the armrests and all. I would do that, right? The Ryker would be the one I kill, and the Spider would be more the one I put sophisticated mods on, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you invest all that money, why can't we have more than a 6-month warranty? Right? Why can't you back your bikes with, it's not a snowmobile, so why can't you back your bikes with the same verbiage that if we destroy it, then it's on us. But if you have a problem, I'm spending all that money, give me a 2 or 3 year warranty,
Yeah.
right? Where, and then allow me, why is it that if you miss that year period, you could no longer purchase a warranty for the bike? Why? If
Hmm.
I'm saying I'm not handy and I want to purchase an extended warranty, I'm willing to pay you for it. As long
Yeah.
as it's not an exorbitant price. Offer these things.
Yeah.
We're here pushing, not being partisan to Riker and Spider, but yes, being part. They're a lead off, and there's things that I think that BRP can offer riders that grow the community, right?
Absolutely.
So I think we've touched a lot for this episode. We don't want to give them too much now. We want to come back for what's next. And so, as always, it's my pleasure to talk with you, my friend. It's my pleasure to
Same.
speak to our viewers, understanding that they've heard a lot of Spider and Riker, and you will continue to hear that with a mixture of two wheels. And eventually, maybe I'll talk my friend Ludwin here into getting electric motorcycles so we can branch out into that conversation as well at some point. But I guess I'll be the voice of that for now. But it's always a pleasure, Ludwin. It's always a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
my
Thank you.
viewers. And we look forward to your responses, your comments. And, we look forward to bringing you the next episode pretty soon. So until
Absolutely.
then, I am Julian Perry, host of 247 Tech Talk.
I'm Lidwin Cruz with Madman Wrenchworks.
And we are Moto.
Mosaic.
Talk to you guys soon.